Now, Eurasian eagle owls are from Asia and Europe, primarily, and they live in farmlands. They also live in wooded areas, and sometimes you'll even see them in neighborhoods, like neighborhoods along the way. Kind of like we see owls around our neighborhoods. This is just a much bigger species. She's actually the second largest species of owl. Out of 250 species, she's the second, all right? They're found all over. The only place they're not found is actually Antarctica, all right? Otherwise, you'll see owls all over the place. It moves her head around instead of moving her eyes, and that's why she can spot things. They actually have 14 neck bones in their neck, which allows them to move their neck that much, whereas we only have 7. Alright, so they can kind of spot things. They know everything that's going on out there just by kind of being aware. They have wonderful eyesight. They can actually spot a mouse that's 75 feet or pretty incredible, right? Great eyesight. Now, the hearing compensates as well for their biases and smell. Their hairs have, or their feathers, have what is called a facial disc. Alright, and this basically filters that sound right to her ears. The owls out in the environment and kind of see how the lack of owls might be impacting the environment. Thank you, Rainy. Now we're going to welcome our next animal that's coming up here shortly. And it's a really cool species I think you're going to enjoy.
Thanks for that. Called American alligator. Now these guys are found all over the southeastern United States, ranging as far west as Texas, as far north as North Carolina, and then of course down here in Florida. They can be found in freshwater environments, so lakes, ponds, rivers, streams, pools, golf courses. I'm sure you've seen the videos. They can get up to about 13 feet in length and weigh between 400 and 600 pounds. So when that happens, we're going to need a lot more hands and a lot more trainers out here on stage. I won't be able to do this anymore. They can live about 50 years out in the wild, and then they can hit their awesome and powerful tail. When they are fully grown, they can switch their tails back and forth in the sediment to form something called the gator hole. Now that gator hole can fill with water and be utilized during times of drought, but what they're most known for is their nests. One super cool thing about their nests is the
This here is my friend Boris. He is an Asian small pod otter. Yeah, he is 17 years old. These are the smallest of the otter species. There are 13 different types of otters in the world. So they get to be around 5 to 7 pounds or so. Otters typically live into their 20s, so he is a little bit of an older gentleman, but he's definitely not showing any signs of slowing down. He just came from swimming, so he's drying himself off on this towel. These guys love to kind of dry off on things, and towels seems to be one of their favorite enrichment items to kind of hang out with and play with. When they're not swimming, and of course they are really great and like to be in the water, they're really good at swimming, but they don't like to be wet on land. So, I mean, neither do I. Super
Panama was rescued right here in the state of Florida, over in St. Petersburg, back in 2010. A local sanctuary was keeping an eye on his nest, and when they realized his parents were not returning for him, they decided to intervene and rescue him. Now, when he was rescued, he was a lot smaller and pretty much had no feathers, so he looks a lot different than he does today. But throughout his time with us, he has blossomed into a really beautiful bird and a fantastic animal ambassador for his species. Now, eastern brown pelicans are found all over the coast of North America and into parts of South America. They have a really impressive wingspan. It's about 6.5 feet. Now that wingspan allows them to glide over the water at heights of 65 feet. There you go, showing up my wingspan. And from that height, they can actually dive down and catch fish with some really impressive accuracy. They have fantastic eyesight. Now, when they do dive from those heights, that's pretty high, and they're coming in pretty fast. So they'll actually turn their heads slightly to the left right before they hit the water, just to protect all of those internal organs. They will also inflate 2 air sacs right here on the sides of their body that kind of work like light vests, which I think is super cool. Now, another aspect that these guys use for fishing is their throat pouch, which you can see right there. Anyone want to guess how many gallons of water the throat pouch can hold?